then let's get started. It being after 7 o'clock on June 24th, 2025, let's bring the weekly Charlton Planning Board meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is to discuss field chain modifications for Boston Outdoor Living, formerly Green Boys Landscaping, 220 and 218 Sturbridge Road. You guys?
Yep.
Good, okay.
Where would you like me to set this up so everybody can see it?
That's fine. Right,
Maybe over this way, over
Right
this
here.
way.
Thanks.
Get it?
Wherever you'd like.
Over here in the corner here?
Yeah, right in the camera.
Facing the camera. Thanks, Jeff.
Oh, is it, so you, the other one, is west. This time.
So these are field chains that have been made to the current plan, underway, or where are we at now?
So we've been working with DOT now for since we were here last, which I think was in 23, the end of 23. There's still no final permit that's been issued. We've had meetings, multiple meetings, Zoom meetings with people as far as the senator's office with them to try to move things along, and to get them to even respond to our questions, that some of the stuff that they're asking us. I know the town manager was even on one of the Zoom meetings, correct?
Yep. Two.
Just to kind of see what's going on as well. And this is going back to the last year. So basically the changes, other than the fact that the building was lowered 2 feet in elevation, but it stayed in the same location, the changes that are there are all driven from DOT. The big change is that we had a trench drain down at the bottom of the entranceway to pick up the remaining portion of the water.
Right.
And that discharged into their gutter line, which was approved from them in 2015, but since, he didn't start construction until recently, the permit expired and they made us go through this, the new process. They want you ultimately to keep all the water on your site. They don't want any water, even if you're treating it, you're holding it back, you're making it the same, runoff as existing. They don't want the water from your site. So they had us do test pits across the whole site. We had to do reports on why, we had to design it the way we have it. There's some tough grades on this site. There's a 2-to-1 slope coming off the road up in there. The driveway is basically a funnel, that goes in. But ultimately, they wanted us to remove this trench drain and have catch basins instead.
Right.
It's not even in their layout. We argued with them, if we do this, we're not going to capture a lot of this water coming down the driveway. And not only were we not getting responses, and during Zoom meetings, they didn't care. So we did that. We got rid of the trench drain. We brought 2 catch basins up top, and we added like 400 feet of pipe to bring it all the way down to this corner as well, to discharge to this drop inlet that they have. Even though when it was here, it discharged down their gutter into the drop inlet as well. So we did that, and then Mike requested us to give him a new plan, and he had 3 comments on the request to have this be a field change. 2 of the comments were regarding the slope that they disturbed putting in this pipe. Just a note, which I did add about the 2-to-1 slope to be treated, some sort of a erosion blanket when it's seeded, as well as the back slope. Since the building lowered 2 feet, the back slope got from a 2.5 to 1 to a 2-to-1 slope. And then the final comment regarding the drainage was that he wants to see a revised, stormwater analysis to show that we're still meeting all the stormwater standards. I did talk to him about that. I said, Mike, and I explained to him again where this all derived from. I said, when I rerun this number, since we're getting rid of this trench drain, now this water is basically just coming out into the street, not captured. I'm like, we're most likely going to have an increase in that area. I'm like, what do you do there? And he said, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. He said if DOT's the one that drove that to be the case, that they will, ultimately just have to accept the fact that there's more water going out there.
Is that up the driveway, or is that up the?
That's the driveway, yeah. But
They won't let us put a trench drain there.
They wouldn't let us
That
leave it the
extra
way it
drainage
was.
is a substantial cost, and we did not want to spend 6 figures on extra
That's
drainage
completely-
just because.
Yep.
And so
So you
we fought.
finally paved driveway?
It was going to be paved.
Yeah.
So how do we handle the stormwater coming out of that driveway, especially in the winter, and the drain water coming out there, and icing and freezing and slushing?
Well, I think
mess.
that it's going to have to be graded in a way that the water, it's kind of a low point in a little ways, so that the water will shed off and go down the gutter still, not go
Okay.
into the
It
street.
will be pitched so that it's not gonna just sheet and flow right into Route 20.
Yeah, but you know what happens, once it starts creasing up and freezing over, the water
Yeah.
finds its own way to get
Yeah.
to wherever it wants to go.
No, yeah.
It-
It is not like you turn on and it's just an instant slope. It does
Yeah,
have
there is
foot. It is a
okay.
good like landing area. Well, also it's hard to have that landing area, but it's a pretty substantial landing area. It's not. We actually the driveway now is quite reduced in like slope.
Good.
10 feet in, what's the elevation of the whole driveway?
The total grade change?
Yeah.
Route 20.
Um,
It's probably.
yeah, it's about 10 feet up to the top.
It's only 10 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah, all right.
yeah.
I think it's even bigger.
I mean, by lowering the building to it,
Yeah,
lower the
yeah.
driveway by 2 feet.
Okay.
But, so that's where we're at. I mean, those are the only real changes. We did rotate the septic system in the back, to get it out of the parking area. But we went through the Board of Health with that. But other than that, it hasn't really been changes to the design. It's all just derived around the DOT drainage. So I have to give Mike those numbers
Good.
to show him what changed, and we're gonna have to go from there.
Good. So you're just here tonight to show us what you're doing and request it be counted as a field?
Yeah,
Change
yeah,
it?
Mike,
Okay.
Mike in his report, I believe.
I think it's minor enough to be a field
Yeah.
change, not a.
Yeah.
Changing.
So,
What do you guys think?
yeah. So we'll work with him on the drainage.
Yeah, I mean, get what you can, see if you guys can
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah, if there was any way to leave it, that was the ultimate preference, but it was still not
Yeah.
there.
No, DOT finalization, is that in
They're-
view
They
or?
do not communicate whatsoever.
Yeah.
They seem to be okay now with the drainage. I think they're all set with the drainage, right?
I mean, I have not 5 weeks with 3 emails I've
Yeah.
responded to and 2 in chat, so.
But their latest comment now is they want the driveway entrance to be designed for a WB67, which is like the largest trailer truck. Which,
Mhm.
I don't see the reasoning is not having 70-foot tractor trailer trucks in the site, but that's what they want for the entrance.
For the term,
Yeah.
it is.
So right now we have like a 55-foot opening, and it's probably gonna be more like 80 feet if we give them what they want. But again, he's emailed them 3 times to ask them to explain why they feel that that's the size truck that we need, and they won't respond. So,
Is it the main office you're dealing with, or is it?
it's multiple people.
I
And when you have a Zoom, when you have a Zoom call with them, it's
Yeah.
kind of like they make it, oh yeah, you're just about there, we just need this.
Yep.
You give them that, and then they give you more comments, and then if you have questions.
Move on to something else. and-
Yeah.
The person that's really making the decision isn't on the Zoom call, they're just,
It's a
I don't even
22-year-old
know.
kid who doesn't.
There's a lot of them on the Zoom call.
really?
Yeah.
So easy to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not National Grid.
So they're holding up
They
National
won't
Grid.
release National Grid.
They don't give them power.
Yeah,
Well, sorry you're dealing with this. It's,
so we're trying.
all right, all right.
All right, so
We'll wait
we'll-
till- when things get a little closer, we'll
Yeah.
schedule another meeting.
Okay.
Do we need to, yep, that's great.
Make a motion to accept the
Well,
change.
actually, I think what we need to do is postpone it until the paperwork's complete. We'll have everything in
To see
the-
the modification, the
Yeah.
final modification.
Yeah, so, this isn't,
Okay.
this actually isn't a public hearing, so I don't think we need to postpone anything, just when you're, is that right? Just when
Yeah.
you're ready, just let us know, and we'll
Okay.
get it back on the schedule. But I think the consensus was here, yeah, it's not enough for a full change. I
Okay.
hope you guys can agree with that.
Thank you.
Thanks for you coming in, that's DOT happy.
But continue to give them an opportunity to just Mike's final question.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
gentlemen.
Okay, it being after 7:05 PM, we have a public hearing for Saloon, is that pronunciation right, modification? Saloon modification, doggy daycare, 10 North Sturbridge Road, hours of operation, overnight dog care. So, I'm gonna read the public hearing notice. We're not gonna hear anything, we're gonna open the meeting and then we're just gonna continue it to the next meeting, the 16th. July 16th? Okay. So in accordance with section 200-3.2, 200-7.1D, and 200-7.2 of the Charlton zoning bylaw, the Charlton Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, June 4th, 2025 at 7 p.m. in person at 37 Main Street, Charlton, Mass. 1507 on the request of Brent and Ann Silo, 69 North Sullivan Road, Charlton, Mass. 1507 for site plan modification to extend the hours of operation to doggy daycare at the existing train station building. The applicant is requesting approval for overnight stay of dogs. No new structures are proposed. The property contains approximately 1.75 acres in the R40 district. Dog kennels can be permitted with an approved special permit. The property is located at 10 North Sturbridge Road. The property ID is assessors map 11A, Block C, lots 4 and 7, and is zoned residential low density R40. This meeting of the Charlton Planning Board will be conducted in person. Participation. Copies of the site plan application are available for the inspection of the Charlton Planning Board office and the town clerk's office during regular business hours. The application is also posted on the website under Planning Board. Any persons interested or wishing to be heard should appear at the time, place designated. Town clerk, Charlton Planning Board. So we've got it open. Can I have a motion to continue this public hearing for Silu doggy daycare until July 17th?
I motion that we continue.
16.
Sorry, July 16th, right?
Yeah.
That we continue this public hearing to July 16th.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes.
Just for early, in Premier Trailers, is it, so when do you want to do the 2 A&Rs?
Sure. Oh, they're, actually, they're scheduled for 7:50, no, they are 7:20, right? Come on. Yep. We get 5 minutes to kill. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's all right.
Sorry. You're more than welcome to set up. You're more than welcome to set up.
In that
if you want
5
to.
minutes, you know, we'll get set up, you know?
I like to know what's going
We
on.
have to do the same.
There you go.
What about GM properties? Do we have to do the same thing with that?
Yeah, actually, we do need to continue that, so let's go ahead and do that now. Public hearing continued for GM Properties LLC, Villages Multi-Family Units, 35 North Main Street. The request is to continue this to July 16th. Do I have a motion?
I move that we continue this hearing on the July 16th meeting.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion passes.
4 minutes.
While he gets that, you guys want to review some minutes? Excellent. How's that? Keep that moving. Good minutes from May 7th and May 21st. Please giving that information just quickly with those over.
Make a motion to accept the planning board minutes for May 7th, 2025, and planning board meeting minutes.
Can we do those separately, just because I can't vote on one of them? Oh, it's okay.
Make a motion to accept the planning board minutes for May 7th, 2025.
Second that.
There's a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous.
Make a motion to accept the planning board meeting minutes, May 21st, 2025.
Second that motion.
There's a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I said it well. I'm
Abstain, one
tired of reading.
abstain. 3 ayes and 1 abstain.
Yeah.
Okay. Then motion passes. Now, A&R, what do we got, Randy?
This first one's on Lelandville Road, it's a Hilker property, they're taking a portion of their existing property, they own this long, thin parcel along Lelandville Road, they're taking parts of the larger property and adding it to this property along Lelandville Road to give them adequate area and everything for that property. Then the rest of the property will just remain as one large lot, approximately 70 acres. So they're adding land to this property.
And they're taking it from the
They have
bigger
a
lot?
lot of environmental restrictions, so,
Okay, is that along the river?
yeah, so they're trying to give that property a little more land to
Okay. Is that a name for that stream? That's the one that goes between Hayden Pond and Bucking Hill?
So, right now they basically put these two lots together.
Okay. Are they doing something with that land, or is there already a house on it?
No, they wanna add it to the land where the existing house is.
Okay.
I don't know the reason behind it, 'cause pretty much can't use it, but
Yeah, it just seems like, so, what are they adding? It's,
Yeah, this 1-2
okay.
is this, and 1-3 is this sliver? Or what is 1?
Just along the stream and
0.3 acres. So it's just
Okay.
this sliver,
Okay.
whatever that
that goes back to the stream.
is. So 1-2 and 1-3 into the whole thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, that meaning balance.
So this is their remaining part.
Yeah.
Up here.
Yeah, and that property still has some, land on Lunenville and then, also part of Village Road, so the larger parcel still has adequate frontage.
But lot 1 is not part of this, right? This house lot?
Well, that's what they're adding to, so they're adding 1, 3, and 2 together?
I think
Oh, it's just 1 and 2.
This remaining land.
Well, they're pulling this, sorry, lot 1,
1-2, 1-2.
1-2
Is all of this?
is all of this, and they're adding lot 1,
Yeah.
3, or they're adding lot 1, 2, to lot 1, they're adding lot 1, 2, and 1, 3 to make it a big lot. So before it was just this. They're adding this and this to this whole lot to make it a big long lot. Okay.
But is that your understanding, Ray? Like this house lot, is that part of this?
The house lot, yeah, but this lot is going to be, this end up being not a separate building lot, it's going to be combined with number 71.
So lot 1 is gonna be lot
Yeah.
1, 2, and 1, 3. What that looks like.
So there's be just one house on it?
Yeah, I mean, they can't,
I mean, looks,
between the, you know, have to be 100 feet from the stream and who knows what wetlands is over there. I really don't understand why they're
Why this
even
strange?
bothering, because they're basically adding unusual land.
Is
So they've been-
it
they've been
a
taxed
reason-
though.
do you need to
Land,
give
but-
us a reason for it?
What's
Is
that?
the reason necessary?
It
No, I
really
mean,
isn't.
it's just a matter of
It's just a
choice.
matter of, it's paper.
It would be nice to know.
It's always nice to know, but that doesn't make it
No.
Yeah.
an approval not required lot.
Maybe
It's
they
just-
want to
it's
be the
just like-
stewards of the stream.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they feel that they can do a
Keep
better
the
job
hunters
than
off.
somebody else.
Yeah, it's, who knows, they want to have horses, there's no explanation for it, so.
Private fishing.
All right. Well,
Okay. Okay, any other questions? No concerns?
So he's labeling that not a separate building lot. Yeah.
And the rest of the lot is the, say the quarry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's making his residential house lot part of the whole commercial property?
No. No, he's only adding
No,
it
right
to
now it is,
this
it's
lot.
some
and this
lot,
lot.
but it's smaller. If you make it a little larger.
So right now, this lot is just the house lot,
Mm-hmm.
number 71. What they're doing is adding this strip of land to it and then this small strip in the back
Right.
to this house lot.
Then the
Oh, and
remaining,
combine it with.
Combining it.
78
So it has nothing to do with that.
Nope.
Business,
Nope.
actually.
Nope,
Okay.
nope,
Yeah,
but they
that's
pulled
better.
this piece and this piece away from the remaining land to add it to this house lot.
Yeah.
Okay,
Make a motion to accept the A&R for Hilka on Lelandville Road.
motion to second?
I second the motion.
Motion to second. Any discussion? Not hearing any. All those in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. You need,
Right down here?
oh, up here, sorry.
this is,
Right there.
this is your first signing.
This is my first time.
Oh, should we break out the champagne and do we have balloons or anything?
No, I brought some.
Yeah, you sound for
Six three, isn't it?
Davy.
Yeah, I'll sign it.
So it's 6
Yep. 6-4, today's 6-4.
4. And then just sign.
Yep.
All right.
Actually, yeah, I was gonna say for future, Sharpie makes a better signature on these signs. Both.
More visible.
Yeah, right.
All right.
I just,
That's my second, so now it's all hat.
there you go.
Two lefties on the board here.
Do we?
Yeah,
You let the road,
I'm the southpaw.
Oh, yes, I'm good.
Yeah.
Where's the construction services? Is that another A&R you have?
The other one's much simpler.
The other A&R?
Oh, I.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have a public hearing for 7:20.
Well, this'll be quick. It's just
We can do it anytime after, we just can't do it before. That's
Yeah.
all.
Let's just do this quick and get it over with so we can,
Okay.
since
This
the time's
application
around.
for, probably all aware, they built a couple of new duplexes on North Main Street. And now that they built the houses, they realized their driveway's too hard to use, because they gotta go in. It's typical, like the town hall, that, you know, you gotta go in, make a sharp turn to get into the driveway and the garage.
Yep.
So they're taking land from one property, adding it to the other, so they can move the driveway over to be able to get.
are they still conforming lots after?
What's
Are they
that?
still conforming?
Oh,
lots?
yeah, the
Okay.
still conforming lots,
Okay.
one lot had enough, enough room already that they could take from it and give it to the other lot for the driveway, but
Is there
that's
enough,
essentially the reason why they had to do it. They realized they didn't give themselves enough room to, get a car in there, swing in through and use the garage, so,
Another case of putting 10 pounds of,
yeah,
25
stuff
pound
into a 5-pound bag,
now
yeah.
there's nothing involved in saying this house being too close to the property line now, if they change it?
We don't have any setbacks to driveway.
Okay.
so how much are, so where's, oh, 7 North Main Street, so, okay, so it's just that line there.
It's not even the whole property, just that driveway or something.
Just the easement?
No,
It's-
Parcel A.
You want to put it right side up?
So this is being added to here, and then this is being taken away,
Oh,
that's
that's
added
just,
to here.
that's just an easement there,
And that's just an easement, okay.
sewer.
Okay.
But they don't actually show the driveways out here.
So it looks like they're just adding a little piece to one lot, the other lot's not changing?
no,
Is that correct? Okay, so this lot is changing, they're adding parcel A to 2A.
right.
That's really it. This
So
is
they're
just-
taking it away from this existing. Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
I think the driveway's already in.
It doesn't really say.
It's already in, they're gonna
show
have to
the
change it now?
Okay.
I don't know,
Parcel
I
A to
drive
be
by it every
to
day.
be conveyed to, combined to lot 2A, okay. Okay.
Setbacks on it, 3 feet. Got some waivers on that.
Well, actually, did we vote on this? Give a motion?
Make a motion to accept the A&R for the plan of land 212325 North Main Street.
Second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right down.
The what?
How do you get a 3-foot setback?
To the pound? Okay, thanks for your patience, gentlemen. It being after 7:20, a public hearing continued for Premier Trailer Leasing Site Plan Application to construct 2 buildings for a total of 6,545 square feet and regrade existing travel trailer parking lot located in Sturbridge. So we've got got grades review on this. We can,
Yeah, so we can start there. We received,
Okay.
we received Graves' peer review of our resubmitted plans on Friday, last Friday. We've prepared responses to those. The document lists out all of the comments from the previous response, but as you can probably tell there, the majority of Graves' comments in this letter is acknowledged. Majority were, minor consistency things between the hydrology report and the site plan. The big items, or I should say the items for discussion from our previous meeting were really centered around the utility connections with water service and the hydrant. You may recall last time on our previous plans, we were not showing a hydrant on site, and we were not showing the water connection to the municipal line in Route 20. We've since updated that. We've had several coordination meetings and calls with the fire department. So we're showing a 2-inch water line feeding both the maintenance garage and the leasing building, and a hydrant about 50 or so feet north of the driveway.
On Route 20 on the
Route 20 on our side.
on the western side.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's kind of difficult to see here, but this is our utility plan. So the driveway is here,
Okay.
and the hydrant is within the state highway layout.
Okay.
We're here, right off of the gutter line.
Is the water on that side of the road?
The water is on that side of
Okay.
the road. It's like right in the gutter line, so we
Too
won't have to
fortunate
trench too far. We
Okay.
are going to have to get, an access permit through DOT to tap into the line.
Well, DOT's easy to work with. So.
Yeah. And that
We'll get
was,
some
that
contacts
was
from
our,
other guys. Almost as easy as Eversource.
yeah. So, we're hoping that process goes smoothly again.
Okay.
So that was the adjustment to the plans, and really the main thing. The remainder from a technical perspective anyway, the remainder of the comments from Graves' letter on Friday were very minor and some construction detail related items. For example, details on gate hinges and heights of different gates, things like that. So majority of the comments were resolved. The main items for discussion for this group are really some of the first, I think it's like the first 3 comments in their letter in regard to consistency with the use in the zoning district and the industrial general district. Our response to that, as you've seen, is we've been operating here since 2018. It's an industrial use. We believe it to be consistent with the zoning district.
Okay.
No big changes to the existing use.
No, and that's really the main sort of story of the project. It's a consistency of use. The intensity remains the same. It's really an improvements to all the environmental conditions, stormwater controls in the buildings. Same number of employees, same gate turns, same everything.
It's very minor stuff, like show the fence detail from fencing in the dumpster enclosure, for instance. It's all little stuff.
So some of
like
these
that.
are just minor stuff that you're still working on.
Yeah, and that will be, likely, it will be handled during, construction and review of shop drawings and really additional details that will be worked out. In addition to consistency with the zoning use, the parking intensity was a topic that we discussed last time, and that's noted in Graves' letter that we said we'd sort of come to a consensus on in this meeting. As you might recall, Graves' initial comment was that the leasing building used the office use intensity, and we discussed how really there's a total of 3 employees there on any given day. Really, we're making the entire property parking lot, but we're providing 13 spaces, which is sufficient, or which is consistent with the industrial intensity, rather than applying the office use intensity to the leasing building.
Okay.
So we're looking to get consensus on that.
Yep. So what's the original number? What should it be? And you're asking for a waiver down at 13. Or
Well,
you just
we're just looking to, it should be 13 with
Okay.
using that intensity. We're just looking
Okay.
for an agreement that that is the right approach for this, which
Okay.
we believe it to be. I mean, we're, from the owner's perspective, we're providing an excess amount of
Yeah,
parking.
that's I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Parking. They do have a point on delineation of parking versus travel lanes though, so.
Yeah, so that was very specific to, pull up the site plan here, which
Yeah.
kind of needs that a little bit more. So in terms of the parking intensities that we were just talking about, that was related to, you know, passenger vehicle parking
Mhm.
in the asphalt area. The rest of the area is, you know, going to be compacted gravel surface for trucks. And, you know, really it's not an open lot. It's for commercial uses for Premier to operate those, and they, you know, as a necessity of operating the lot, like they will keep those drive aisles clear to be able to access the trucks, and it's
Trailers.
also sort of difficult, or trailers. Yes, thank you.
You're right, that's not really.
It's not a public way.
It's operational. feasible.
More so, it's sitting idle until it gets picked up and out.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, and so that's really one of the main goals here is to, you know, right now, if you just look on the site, it's kind of like, okay, we'll fix some trailers here because the topography's not level, and that's the whole goal here, is to level that out so that they can operate in such a way where they have clear drive aisles that's for them to use. You know, also there's a maintenance issue with if you were to do striping on a gravel surface, right? So, you know, we understand the comment, but we think that it would be necessary for the use.
Are there curbs or like Jersey barricades in that field of parking, just so that the trucks don't back off the edge or
Yes,
something?
good question. So the way that the stormwater system's designed is for everything to, there's the cell tower in the middle of the property here, and everything sheet flows off and is captured in basically perimeter swales around the edges of the gravel surface, and then it's, you know, conveyed to the various basins, right? So to answer your question, just off the back of the gravel yard before you get to the drainage swale, we have, it's tough to see at this scale, but on site currently there's a lot of old retaining wall blocks that we're proposing to bury there, basically like wheel stops or guardrail along the perimeter to do exactly what you mentioned.
Whole perimeter?
Basically the whole perimeter, yeah, because we're grading up, so all around, you know, if you just trace from here to the back sort of levels off, and then basically from this side of the driveway all the way around and into the back. Yep.
And then the only other ones are around those, the utility poles going out to the cell tower,
Yeah, that's
which, again, those will be blocked with those retaining wall. I mean, they're, what, 6 by 4, they're huge. It's not like a cinder block. It's,
Yeah,
refrigerator
they're-
size.
yeah.
basically.
So you can see those areas, yeah, you can see it a little bit better on this plan. Sorry for flipping back and forth so much here, but yeah, the existing utility poles on this
Oh,
on the
those
site
are the
that
utility
run
poles.
to
Right.
the cell tower in the middle, you know, making sure that we're keeping those clear and protecting those
Yeah.
in a similar way to protecting the edge of the site. So, you know, the consistency with zoning, parking, and then the other final consistency with the bylaw was the screening along the frontage.
So there was a fence plan for along the front, the chain link.
Yeah, chain link fence, black vinyl chain link fence. And, you know, as we discussed during last meeting and in our response, you know, the site sits about 30 feet up off of Route 20. I think we were discussing last time, we kind of hard pressed to even see it if you're, you know, driving by. The development is, the edge of the development is, you know, 100 feet set back from that, so 30 feet up, 100 feet back, and off of the edge of our gravel lot. You know, we're providing a pretty dense plantings of meadow mix at least 20 feet wide. You know, so it's our, you know,
So the new parking area is how far off of Route 20 now? It's not 30 feet?
no, it's about 100 feet.
It's 100 feet
100
back?
feet back,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
it's a good ways back and 30 feet up. So
Okay.
Yeah.
you'd be hard pressed to see
Okay.
it. And then we have, you know, the fence, and then meadow
I was
mix.
thinking that
on the
existing
slope.
house is a lot closer.
Yeah, that house is gonna be gone.
gonna be gone.
So basically, from Route 20 all the way up past the existing fence is basically where that parking area is going to
Okay,
be.
oh, I thought that, I was under the impression that things were being pushed out and leveled closer to Route 20 than where it is now. Okay.
Well,
That is true.
well, that, yeah,
But substantially,
I mean, basically to the back of where the house is now.
okay,
So
which
the-
you say is
not the-
100 feet off of Route 20.
Yes, I believe that's accurate.
That seems farther than what I can remember it being.
Yeah, so this scale, that's like 40. Yeah, about 100 feet.
Was it okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yep. Yeah, because that's setback line up, in front here, this dash line, that's 40 feet off of the property line, and we're, 2 times and some change off of that. So yeah, again, between the fact that we're 30 feet up, 100 feet back, and planting that slope and providing the fence, I feel like we're doing our best there to meet the intent of the screening we're looking to consistency with that. So those 3 points were items in Graves' letter.
Those are the new parts. There were some items that are not yet acknowledged in the report as you go through, but a lot of them look just minor, some documentation, some.
Yeah, and so I actually have a response to this document sitting in my inbox right now that I was eagerly trying to send to this group right before this, but yeah, traffic from Boston was comical.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The
we've
split contour lines really throw them off. So that was a big-
yeah, so that one's gone. Yeah, and that was berm around the basin. So
Remind me, you'll see a lot of plans. Is there a fence around those detention basins, the water detention?
yes,
Yeah.
correct. We have a split rail fence, a wooden fence
Split
around
rail
all of them.
fence.
Yeah, with access gates for maintenance. So yeah,
And just as an example, that's one of the comments that wasn't acknowledged, asking for a detail for the gate and the split rail fence. We have a detail for the split rail fence, but not for the gate. And I think the response is that, that'll be something that will be handled when we're doing construction documents or as a shop drawing with the contractor, but we weren't sure that it was all that pertinent to site plan review. But
Injuries are going
strong.
There was something about,
to happen. Sure, it'll be fun.
Yeah, we spec those types of fences.
retaining wall, blocks, guardrail.
Yes, so that was to the point earlier that we were discussing about the perimeter protection adjacent to the drainage swales. And there was, I think, a little bit of a confusion or misinterpretation there. Our plans when we were developing the counts of just the sheer number of the existing large blocks on site. Our plans were saying to either use those blocks or guardrail, not have the block with guardrail installed, through the block, which is, I think, how it may have been interpreted.
Okay.
So we provided both details for one, the use of those retaining wall blocks, and 2, the use of guardrail in case we run out of the retaining wall blocks, which we don't think that we will. It's just we wanted to make sure that we covered it.
Well, you haven't counted them all up yet, so you don't
Well,
know
we
exactly
have, but
the
once you start to bring down the wall,
Yeah.
right, the existing walls out there, if some are unsuitable or,
Compromise.
we wanted to make sure we had our bases covered. So our response document says that in not so many words.
Okay.
I think I'd really just supplement blocks if necessary.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your plan to go from here? Do you want to address the rest of the Graves comments? I mean, I still think there's probably too many unresolved comments. You've got the paperwork now. You've got responses coming in from them. I'm not sure we can approve it tonight with conditions not having all the details yet. Can we reschedule another meeting? Another couple of weeks working with Graves and get you in for the 17th? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, we were hoping,
Yeah,
to condition. I mean, again, many of the comments, and there's not even that many. The document is looks long because a lot of them are,
Sure.
acknowledged from the previous. With many of the comments being construction level details and minor coordination items.
Yeah, I still see probably over a dozen that are not yet acknowledged now. I'm sure you have good responses for them,
Sure.
and they'll probably look at it and go, okay, Raj. It's not there yet,
Yeah.
and if we condition it to approve all recommendations from Grave, may not help you. So, I don't want to hold you guys up, but I'm not sure. I don't know, any other comments from the board?
I mean, it seems like most of them were acknowledged. I bet the email that you're about to send us to tie together some of the responses that Graves requires would catch them all. I would.
Yeah, just our response document just parse that down to the remaining
Yep.
issues, and I think that, again, the biggest ones were the consistency with the bylaw, the ones up front that we were discussing between the use, the
Yeah,
screening, and
right.
the parking. The
I
technical
think we're okay
comments,
with that.
I understand what you're saying, like it might not help to have that as a condition, because we don't want to get into a long protracted
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and forth.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think that of the remaining comments that aren't acknowledged already,
Yep,
I honestly don't see that as being
okay.
a
So you-
significant risk.
Okay.
I thought I was looking through that. I think there's like 3 or 4. Some of them are stormwater management, just
Calculations and documentation,
Yeah.
that was a lot of it.
Right.
It's, unfortunately, yeah, just seeing this tonight, it's tough to read everything while you're here to
sure,
understand and
sure.
to make sure we don't
Yeah.
miss anything. When is construction starting for you? When you want to, you've already.
As soon as you guys give the okay.
So you're ready to go. It's.
Yeah, I mean, because we're fully functional and we have been since we've been there since 2018. It's just a matter of, and I think we discussed it last time, that you get absorbent amount of rains and thaws with the snow melt and what have you, and it just doesn't allow us to utilize the proper area that we want to, which ultimately we'd like to just start moving ground so we can get ahead on this. And
Do we have a meeting on the 18th, June? We have no meeting in June?
In July?
This is the only meeting in
Next
June we have?
meeting is July 15th.
Okay. I don't want to put you off a month.
Yeah, that's a long time rather.
You're missing some good construction time.
Well, and that's we're eager because obviously we want to have our new building there. We also want to be able to park trailers as we need them, and we discussed last time as well where the majority of the trailers are going to be off-site within about a month and a half. So ideally, everything's happening then, so we're not jockeying trailers around, just moving from point A to point B to point C and back to point A.
How long do you have to close to accomplish the build-out?
I don't know
I think would phase it.
Yeah.
Such that, I mean, a majority, it's tough to see the existing grades right now, but a lot of it is pushing some of the high points in these areas down to this low point, leveling this out and starting to form the basins and get some better stormwater controls on the site.
Yeah, you can keep it operational.
Yeah, that's-
Also, they'll have a pre-construction meeting on site or outside, usually on site. And Mike Andres won't issue, I have to issue a notice to proceed to get the building permit. But he won't issue the notice to proceed to me until all conditions of
And
the
that,
review have
so
been
what you're
met.
saying is, you think you can meet all Graves conditions and not have to come back in front of the planning board again? You're suitable for, okay.
I would agree with that.
I think we can decide, on the use and the screening. I think we've probably already.
That I think,
decided
yeah.
It's
Okay.
fine from the planning board.
I'm happy with the fire hydrant, that's gonna
Yeah.
make the fire department happy.
Yeah, and I know the fire department, I'm not sure, is the chief exiting, is he leaving? Two came over, I wasn't there, but they came over to kind of check a box to look at the site
Yeah, okay.
and to, I guess, identify where that hydrant was gonna go.
We have a new chief that just started.
Okay, maybe that was
the
it.
Chief Barton.
So he
Yeah, I
probably,
did talk to the chief and explain like why you need one on that side of the road and all of that, but he was supposed to give you something in writing, which he has not done yet, but.
I know he did come to the site because he left his card
Going
with.
to, so.
So, condition, fire approval of plan.
In a letter.
In the letter.
All conditions in, conditions in all of the comments and grades, engineering.
Are fulfilled to his satisfaction. I think the board, well, I don't know, if the board will approve, but parking, I don't think is an issue, that's something we need to look at.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we could call out items, Graves items 1, 2, and 6 are approved by the planning board.
Is that an example, or are you actually?
Yeah, I.
Okay.
Actually, those items.
Was one,
1, 2, and 6.
was it 6 or, yes, 1, 2,
What, 1, 2, 3, and 6, actually. If Graves is waiting
Yep.
for our
Yep.
response or
Yep.
something,
Yeah, I think they were.
you know.
Okay. So 1, 2,
3, 6.
3.
This was the
So that was
drive.
acknowledged, so 6, oh, 6, okay.
And 6, yeah.
Well, 5, is 5 something?
That's acknowledged, that's good.
4,
The limits of that ground cover are good. That's fine.
you'll change the topography, the boundaries, okay?
Yeah, we included that delineation on our hydrologic model
Yeah.
map, and then we've also included
Okay.
that in our
You got the-
survey with an updated date.
Plans to the right scale? Was that
Yeah,
something-
so as we talked about this during the last meeting that we provided, the plans are to scale.
Okay.
It's just reduced from the hard copy size,
Okay,
if
gotcha.
that makes sense. You know,
Yep.
we had a discussion about the
Really
plans
good.
being
Okay.
large at 40 scale, so we reduced them, but there's a scale bar provided on the plans, and it's to scale.
Okay. That's okay. Knowledge, hydrology calculations, infiltration basement,
26.
yeah, 26, that's something they're gonna,
That's open.
so you can do these all.
26 open.
Hydraulic calculations for infiltration basin E2, pond E2. Says the design engineer responded that the level pipe connection in 2 sections of the basin will allow them hydraulically act as one basin.
Yeah, so
The
that,
engineer must demonstrate that the 12-inch connecting pipe does not hydraulically limit the shared volume between the two.
yeah, so we did a separate model basically to show
Okay.
that, basically modeling the pipe as a culvert and
Okay.
the volume being shared between these 2 ponds
Okay.
to meet the performance
Okay,
standards.
so that's
we-
one you'll have to satisfy with Graves.
Yeah, so we have that as an attachment to our response document, a separate model proving that out.
26 is open.
30 is still open. 33 is still open. 34 is still open. The Nepke's permit,
Yeah, so that, that's basically talking about construction erosion controls, which would be handled under the CGP. The contractor.
39 is still open. So if you look at 39, that's something you will resolve?
Yeah, so that's access to the basins, and that actually was provided, it just wasn't called out. So as we mentioned earlier, the guardrail comes down
Yep.
to about here. There's a gate here, so we've clarified that, called that out for access, and similarly here on this pond as
It's
well.
on
So
the-
this is the updated plan
Okay.
that's included as an attachment to that response.
Yeah.
And the swales are 9 feet wide with a 3-foot bottom, so they're pretty wide. So yeah, accessing the basin will be a problem.
we've got a couple of comments here that refer to Concom. We'll probably need something from Concom to clear those. Or do you have that information?
You know, we've been in close coordination with Rose throughout this. We have, you know, an RDA hearing open with them, which basically point to these items as well, and we did receive an ORAD from them.
Okay. So those are still, they're still open in our engineer's mind, so we just have to make sure that those.
Sure, we can get something in writing from Rose. We, you know, spoke with her basically when we received the initial comments. She's in she agrees with the design.
So 43 still open. Manhole structure?
Yep, so we've included a manhole again. That's with that pipe connecting these two basins. So we were showing a 45-degree fitting for that. We've included a manhole for access and maintenance.
For 47, any concerns with the board for traffic? I don't think there was. There's no increase of traffic, no change, no need for a traffic report.
And the only traffic issue is there's left turns allowable today, right, out of the driveway.
They've been operating this way for
7 years.
And what I did is I pulled like our gate move out.
Yeah.
It's only like 3.5.
Yeah.
So let's round up to 4. 4 that go in or out a day. It doesn't seem like a lot. You know, some days there's 10 or 15, some days there's none. So on average, though, I did it over the last couple of years, and it's almost down to the exact like 3.5, 3.6.
Any idea from our majority of them go right or left? Go to the pike or go towards?
It's tough to say, only because with all the construction on 20, I'd say 75% of them are going right.
Sure.
That may or may not
Wow.
change,
Yeah.
but because the majority of the routes are easily accessible, you know, within, 3 miles of our gate, you know, with 84, you know, you take 20 out 84, Mass Pike and what have you, I'd say it weighs heavily right turns out of there.
I would think the DOT barn would have a lot more traffic in and out of theirs, and they don't have any restrictions. So.
Right. Okay.
So I think it's all driver preference, and I mean, you have drivers that, you know, just say, you know, for ease of use, they just go the easiest way.
Mhm.
So,
Okay, so anything that says Concom will just be documentation that they're okay with what they have to satisfy grades.
.48, you've discussed the blocks.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
So that's, I'm just looking for ones that we need waivers on, or everything else is just satisfied the grades.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
just
you know,
looking
some
for
of
things
these,
that Graves is asking us for, and everything else that I'm considering open will resolve it.
yeah, the rest of the
Okay.
ones down to 70 I don't think they're looking for clarification. It's really
Okay.
those first few up front.
So, I'm saying with the exceptions of 1, 2, 3, and 6, that those things almost have stuff.
Right.
So
That they need to
satisfy
continue
all
on.
Graves' comments with the exceptions of 1, 2, 3, and 6. The board agrees that it's suitable.
Yeah. Otherwise, approve with conditions of satisfying the Graves.
That sound reasonable to?
I think so. You, Patrick?
good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you do.
Come back in July.
In that case, move forward.
That's, any questions about any of those items? I know there's a lot to digest there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's up to the board on whether they want to condition the approval and let them get started on it, or have them satisfy the remainder of the items and they come back before the board.
Just a couple of other thoughts. We've had some discussion in other board meetings on lighting and neighbors and all of that. What's your closest neighbor?
The Zorbas isn't there. I mean, there's a building there, but there's no activity for what, 4 years.
Any lighting on the building?
Currently, right now, we have, and I don't think any of you guys have been up there, but we have lighting facing like the check-in aisle. That it's sensed by the darkness out.
Okay.
So those are LEDs, and they just go on and off at when it's dark or light. It's not pointing out toward 20. It's not pointing. It's pointing basically at the check-in aisle.
And it's a motion detector?
Not a motion detector, no. Just light.
Just light, darkness.
Exactly. So
dusk.
Dusk
dawn.
dawn.
yeah, exactly. So if you went up there now, like in the, I mean, the building, I guess it's really irrelevant now because it's coming down, but.
So in the future building, what kind of, it's more, I don't care which I now in the future building, what's,
Yeah, so they're not operating at night. The only lighting is basically in the asphalt areas, which takes you from the driveway up through the circulation to the maintenance garage. On this limited section here, all dark sky compliant. We have a lighting plan in our set, which shows,
I thought you did, I thought we could look at that to make sure that everything was, doesn't leave the property.
Correct.
I think I mentioned last time, we're 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, there's no weekends, so it's not adding any traffic when there's people going over to the tree house or anything like that.
And the color of the building's gonna be all one color, you're not gonna be like half black, half red?
I don't think so. I mean, our colors are black and green, but.
Not red.
Some of it's stone,
But I
stone base, some green paneling, right? I think.
Yeah.
I think the awning is green.
Yeah, but I don't have a detail sheet here,
It's
but
aesthetically pleasing, it's not
Yeah.
cobbled
Yeah.
together, okay.
yeah.
It's actually beautiful, so.
Yeah, and that, again, that was another goal of the project, was to make it more in line with
It's
the
not great.
national brand.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I want you guys to see the before and after.
Yeah.
Come by and check it out.
Sweet, it's, I've driven by a couple of times and stuff. that
You couldn't
just to
see
make
it,
sure
right?
I-
Yeah.
So you can see and look at it, and try to
Yeah.
visualize it, I try to at least get out there and kind of see what I'm talking about.
I think when you drive up there, like it's massive.
Oh,
you
it's
just
big,
can't see it.
yeah.
It's pretty
Mhm.
big.
It's
I drove by it the other day and I said, geez, it doesn't look this big from the
can't
road.
see.
Yeah, it is, but
Which is
it goes
good,
back
yeah.
there. Yeah. Okay. Any discussion, any concerns with approving it now with the conditions that, with the exception of 1, 2, 3, and 6, all Graves' comments are acknowledged and agreed on with our peer reviewer?
Any motion?
I'll take a motion, if somebody wants a motion.
Conditional,
Yep,
perhaps?
it's a conditional
Yep.
approval.
Make motion to conditionally approve the application for Premier Trailers at 130 Sturbridge Road, conditioned upon meeting all of the town's engineering consulting requests and issues that they've identified in their letter from May 30th.
With the exception of,
Accepting points 1, 2, 1, 3, and 6 as
that was 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, and 6 that have been approved by the planning board.
Have been acknowledged as which.
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
A second motion.
The motion is second, discussion? Any questions or concerns, or? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Actually, we need to add the standard conditions that
Yeah.
go with every,
There'll be a pre-construction meeting, Graves Engineering with the applicant, their engineer who would be doing the actual work. And a note to see will have to be, the engineer will send a report, and we won't be able to start construction until, the engineer gives me permission to issue a notice to proceed
Can you add that to your standard motions?
Like
Can I add that to your motion?
add a statement to the motions to include the standard planning board conditions on approvals required before building permits are issued.
You have a second on that, Mehmet?
I second that.
So,
Any other, I'm sorry, one more thing.
Keep going.
Any proof from any other board commission
that's,
will be required before.
Yep, and approvals by other pertinent boards.
so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very
Good
much.
luck.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Have a great
It's gonna be
night.
great.
3 days.
Can't wait.
I hope it's good. We're counting on you.
We're here to deliver.
More business.
Okay.
Thank you, Ken.
Yep.
7:30, review decommissioning bond approval decision, Xterra Energy, that's being pushed off. Still waiting the revised decom bill.
Yeah.
Bond.
The attorney reached out to the town attorney discussing, basically what is legal and what is not, so that I know some details on that. But the second takes the biggest stumbling block, because they don't want to post the 25%. So,
Okay, we can
the whole
still push
question is,
them on that a little bit until.
Yeah. I
Until
mean,
they give in their.
between the attorneys now, have we engaged our attorney to write a formal
Yeah.
response or anything?
and Chris Nolan, the applicant's engineer that we worked with, he wanted me to write a condition, approval of the decommission bond with conditions that we don't do that. You
Well, we don't-
amended-
We don't have a decom bill yet. I mean, the one that they gave us before was lacking several panels.
I know,
mean,
so,
whatever's
yeah.
coming back better be, should be
Yeah,
better
not
than
even
what we had
complete
before.
at this point,
Yes, so
yeah.
we don't have one that,
Yeah.
we can't even discuss it.
Yeah, all we did is change it up to 675.
Yeah,
You know,
but
got
even
to-
that, I think, that, those calculations were based on 360 panels. I think they had
Yeah,
over
yeah, you're
700 or something like that. Yeah,
390.
yes, and I
Is
think
there-
it's, and
But
they,
they got it in at,
and how many panels did they have? End up having 780 or something like
Yeah.
that? So take that number and,
780, you think? Yeah.
it was a
I think
much
that
higher
was the
number than what they
It's
were.
a larger number.
Yep, so we need a new bond that takes that into consideration, so. They were only had half the panels on that.
So it could be another $100,000.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're not holding them up because they're still under construction.
Yep.
They have a ways to go.
They didn't
so-
get anything to us, so I'm not.
All right, okay,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when that comes in, we'll schedule, it. There's no need to schedule for a certain time, okay. Probably be on the 17th. Other business unknown at time of posting, anything exciting coming in?
Well, actually, this site construction is been waiting to finally start building the gas station. We also have, they want to do a development on the TVRA property, which is Heritage Health is here, CVS is here, the property on the other corner.
Yep.
It's gonna require a bylaw amendment because right now we don't allow 6 units per building, they wanna do more.
Oh, they want to do a large residential development there?
Yeah, townhomes, you know, so,
Where is this again?
On the opposite corner from CVS.
Oh, on that.
Main Street
that
and Route 20.
elevated
on the-
Yeah.
area.
Right.
Is there a water tank up there?
Yeah.
No, that's across the street.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
talking
the
about
other
across
one,
from Main
I
Street.
have no idea what's going on.
Corner across from Main Street.
Okay, yeah, with Harrington is.
Next to that, yeah, in front of that property. Okay. Interesting.
And, we will be getting a new subdivision plan for Pumpkin Hill.
Okay.
So, you know, it's gonna be, they gotta start all over again, but, you know, it's hopefully a plan that we can all work with together, so You know,
Who was that again? Did you say?
what's that?
Could you repeat what you said?
Oh, Quantico Hill, I don't know if you're familiar with, it's off Hinton Hill Road, it's a whole development back there. And what had happened, it never got completed. And
This is from back in the
there's a road
80s.
that came
Oh,
in
back
from
in the
this end
80s, yes.
and this end.
Uh-huh.
They never connected in the middle.
Oh, I remember
It
that.
now is,
Developer went belly up.
yeah,
Sat
now
there.
it's
Did
like,
that, yeah.
Somebody else came in that couldn't do anything with it, sat there.
it's at the point, it's gone like to the bank, back to, you know, just back and forth. So we have a developer that if we work with him to be able to give him enough house lots to make it work, financially work as well, he's willing to take on the project and finish it for us, so the town doesn't get stuck with this unfinished road. And, it's been a nightmare crossing, because there's actually already new houses on there. And you know how a road's under construction, and the manhole things are sticking up in it? It's been like that for years, so.
Okay.
It's
I've
an
heard
unfinished
about
road
this.
that the town doesn't own, but nobody owns it, it's a private
Yeah.
road that
Right.
it's just, the town's been taking care of just because it's,
Yeah, until the
Nobody
road,
else
has it,
yeah,
not to.
until the road's completed, the town doesn't take it as a public road. We don't wanna have to pay to, you know, complete the road. So if we're willing to give the developer some leeway, he's willing to take on the project.
And you said that the gas station is starting, the one on Route 20?
Yeah,
and
they had to
then
get the
build it.
DOT approval, people approved, they have them all.
Okay.
They were just making sure that they were completing all the details for the traffic study. And, once they, you know, completed that to everybody's satisfaction, they're ready to go. So, I mean, they're chomping at the bit to go,
Are
so
they? Yeah,
they were waiting for everybody else,
Right.
like DOT.
yeah. Have
Nothing.
you seen the traffic study, or where is this traffic study?
Oh, the traffic study was completed by,
Yeah.
you know, the traffic study, the engineer that we used to
Yeah.
track, it went to their engineer, they did some changes, and then it was, they revised it. Their engineer, our traffic consultant reviewed it again, there's still a couple of comments.
Yeah, yeah.
It's now back in their
Oh,
engineer's
yeah.
hands.
Okay.
It wasn't anything like major,
Yeah,
but
so no resulting modifications.
yeah, it's just that, you know, it's Route 20, it's a busy
Yeah.
area, so the, dots the I's, you cross your T's,
Yeah.
so.
improve a few things out, okay? Blair, excuse me, Blair's development, nothing's happening there, no pre-construction meetings for
Which one?
Blair, please,
Oh,
Blair's
no,
now, nothing.
we haven't heard anything from them.
On the farm. Okay. All right,
We actually had somebody, I spoke to them at the last week, they wanna do, I don't know if you're all familiar with what a 40B development is. It's, you know, for affordable housing,
Yeah.
a certain amount of the units has to be affordable housing. And, the only reason why, they wanna do a friendly 40B, they don't wanna come in and
Who's
tell
listed
us-
on us?
who?
I have the names, so, but they want to propose a friendly 40B so that they can provide more, you know, it's like the 35 North Main Street, they're saying like, you know, 450 to 500 is
Yeah.
affordable, but I'm like, it doesn't sound affordable to me, you know, to a.
But is it
the
defined as
average
affordable?
Amazon worker, that's
Yeah.
not affordable.
But
So where they, is this proposing behind Yankee, is that the one that you were talking about, behind Yankee Diner, or the diner? Or where was this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
I think, yes, the town would be open to trying to work with them for it, rather than, you know, have to shove it down our throat, so.
it's inevitable.
What's that?
It's inevitable.
Yeah, And I mean, honestly, this town needs it.
Yeah.
We have a lot of property with the big cloners, everything, but we don't have, room for young people coming in and then seniors that are on a fixed income, you know, where they don't need the big house and everything anymore, so.
40B is difficult for developers to get. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into 40B approvals. But it also takes all the control from the town away. So,
If you can mitigate beforehand.
it pulls anything away from the planning board, it puts them in front of the Board of Appeals. So basically, the Board of Appeals does the planning board's job
Yeah,
on
I
approving
remember
it
seeing
and
that
getting
happen in
it
the town I grew up,
So,
I
that's-
grew up in, and this stuff.
It's preferable to get something in there and make everybody happy than.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
Yeah,
we
but I
don't
mean,
want to
that,
get
and I
sued
explained to
for
them that, you know,
40B.
it's how you present it. If you come here and they think it's gonna be like slum housing, the town's gonna be up and arms over and everything. There's, you know, it's only a certain amount of the units anyways. I said, and I've worked with, they're trying to work with large, contracts like Pulte Homes, Toll Brothers. I worked with Toll Brothers before we did development. And you were not allowed to make the water reuse look any different than market rate use. So when somebody drove down the street, they wouldn't be able to distinguish which is which, you know, so.
Right.
And Toll Brothers did a good job with it, so they don't want some linky-dink local developer, but they want a professional, you know, to handle it, so.
Okay, so that'll be coming up probably at the end of the summer, or is there something planned?
I'd say it's into the summer, yeah.
Okay, anything else? Any other questions? Good.
Make motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion to second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye? Aye. It's unanimous.
It's a record for a while.